Hello guys, welcome back to ESENtaxa. Andrea Vito here. In this video we're going to talk about how to open your bed and breakfast activity in Italy with the mandatory 10 steps. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, ESENtaxa talks about how to optimize your taxation if you want to relocate to a specific country. We are #1 channel in English language, explain all the fiscal system, all the nuances, details of the Italian taxation, and we also have expanded our sharing knowledge throughout Europe. So we are covering several jurisdictions, so stay tuned in ESENtaxa, subscribe the channel, notification bell, a like button if you like this kind of content, especially if you want to move to Europe. Okay, you might find your jurisdiction and of your choice, and we might talk about the jurisdiction. So we cover it, we can consult you on it, we can check your business structure, family structure, personal situation, and tax simulate your situation before ahead the relocation. So you basically avoid to waste a lot of money if that destination is too expensive in terms of taxes. So we discover it in advance. In this specific video, instead of talking about taxes, of how much taxes you pay if you want to run a bed and breakfast activity, because we want to talk about the mandatory bureaucratic steps that you must have done, otherwise you cannot even start your activity. As I said, in this channel we have already discussed about this topic of how to optimize your taxation as a bed and breakfast activity, so look at those videos here in ESENtaxa. But now let's discover which are the mandatory bureaucratic steps. Without those you cannot perform this activity, and a lot of clients, they are coming to us to asking only some of those steps without knowing that there are other things that needs to be done. So finally in this video I'm going to clarify everything that must be done in whatever place, wherever region you're looking for this business, in whatever municipality. Those steps for sure must be done at the top of something else that will be request to the local municipality, to you, or the region in which you have established your business. So let's start it. First things you have to do, of course, you have to decide if you want to start the business as a private or as business. Okay, it's mandatory at the beginning to decide which is your status. You're running this activity as an individual, you have a lot more restrictions, you're not acting like a business, you're an individual, perfectly fine. You have the taxation of 21% flat, and you can also run with RPF taxation. We know you have the possibility to deduct certain expenses, but under certain conditions. Or you pass the ball to a business activity, so then you can open the forfeit regime, which is extremely favorable. We have 5% flat taxation at the beginning, but in this case you have to open a VAT number, so a business number that allows you to basically start this business, to run the business. And this means that you have to pay taxes and social security. Of course, you can apply the forfeit regime, so you can optimize taxes and social security together, but this is a mandatory step, is basically transmit to the Italian tax agencies that you want to open a business. So either you're doing with a company or you run a business as an individual. Okay, an individual, you can apply the forfeit regime. Okay, impatriate regime doesn't work with the bed and breakfast activity, if you're wondering about it. Then, extremely important step, identify the perfect ATECO code, which basically represents your activity, represents the description of activity. So the ATECO code is a number that is not the VAT number. Do not mess up the two things. The VAT number is the one that you expose on your invoices issued. You need to purchase something, or you need to issue invoices because you're giving services. Maybe your activity is not just doing bed and breakfast, but is doing something else. You have another company to work with, and then you have to issue invoices. On your invoices you add your VAT number, which is also in Italy the business number. Okay, but the ATECO code, it's another number. It's the number that represents your activity. So behind the ATECO code there is the description in letters of your activity, and this is what must absolutely match. And this is what we do in ESENtaxa. We understand, based on your description, based on your activity, what is the correct ATECO code. Be careful, because under bed and breakfast activity there is not just one ATECO code that you can take into account. Based on the accessory services, you can add on your bed and breakfast activity, you see? So it's better always to check with an accountant which is the perfect ethical code that matches with your activity, okay? So don't give it for granted that I do bed and breakfast is for sure the ethical code. No, we have to be anyway careful, checked with an accountant. Then we have the mandatory steps that you must do with your municipality. So the municipality is the place in which physically is located your estate, your real estate that you want to put on the rent, okay? And then the municipality basically is asking you to register yourself or whoever is responsible of your business, of your company, to the specific portal, a website, which is called SUAP, and through that portal, so you first perform the registration, you do the registration, and then once you have the possibility to log in this portal, you can communicate with your municipality for certain specific steps, for other specific bureaucracy steps. And the first bureaucracy step that must be done absolutely is the declaration of that I'm starting this activity. I know it's weird, but Italy wants that you talk to your commune, the municipality of your estate where is located your bed and breakfast, and you have to declare that you are starting this activity. So this activity requires an official communication that can be done through this portal. So you first register to the portal and then you communicate, okay? You declare the activity initialization, the famous SCIE, SCIA in Italian, okay? In order to do that, make sure that you have the credential to log in any Italian public website. And to do that, you need to have either an Italian ID card, electronic ID card called CIE, or a SPID, which is basically delivered by the post office in Italy, for example, that identifies you electronically to any Italian public administration website, okay? So you log in with that and you can do whatever things you need to do. And you can do it actually as administrator of your company or as a business or as a responsible of the business. In this case, responsible of the business of your bed and breakfast, okay? Once you have done that, next things you have to do, it's a couple of years that has been introduced, you have to basically register, well, not register, but obtain from the Minister of Tourism's website, which is another public website, that's the reason why you need the SPID this year, as I said before, a CIR number. This number must be added to any kind of advertisement of your property that you want to put under bed and breakfast, under touristic rent. So you will use, for example, Airbnb, or you will use Booking, you will use whatever platform or any other kind of websites. On the picture or below the description of this bed and breakfast must be appear by law, it must mandatory now, this number. And this number will be associated to you, to your property, through the Ministry of the Tourism, okay? So this is also another step that must be done. Then, those are the activities that you do once and then it's done. It's just for the startup, for the initialization. Then you have all the recurrent stuff that you must do whenever you're running on daily basis your bed and breakfast activity, And for example, is the tourist tax. You have to collect the tourist tax for your municipality, okay? Some municipality, basically almost all the municipalities in Italy, because of the over-tourism problem, they have to collect more taxes from tourists, okay? In order to provide all the services that are overloaded because of the tourists themselves. For example, the biggest city in Italy suffer from this problem, so we have the tourist tax. And the tourist tax basically is the amount of money that is charged on every daily basis for maximum 10 days on your rate, okay, on your night, on your staying, on your journey, when you have booked an hotel, when you have booked an apartment. So automatically the platforms add the tourist tax that has been established by that specific municipality. And you are responsible of writing down on the advertisement the correct amount of tourist tax that your municipality wants that you collect for them, and of course you have to practically collect those tourist tax. And each municipality gives you, so this is something that you have to check locally with the local municipality, so in the SUAP portal for sure is written, which is the amount of tourist tax to collect in behalf of the municipality, when to pay and how to pay it, okay? All the basically the descriptions. Then there's another step. The other step is the communication to the police. In Italy it's called questura. Basically it's not exactly the police, it's an office of the, which is branch of the police, the Italian police. Basically you have to communicate who is who is staying in your apartment or in your bed and breakfast, okay? You have 24 hours to communicate all the anagraphic details of the person to the questura, which is basically, there is another website for that, it's called Alloggiati Web24. Through this portal, you send all the information, the ID card and the information of your hosts, okay? Or sorry, of your guests, okay? This is a very, very important. You cannot skip this step because you might have severe consequences if you don't comply with this specific step, okay? So basically it's like you're doing the check-in and check-out that every hotel does whenever you have to stay overnight or you have to stay for some days. It's exactly what it's like, the check-in and check-out procedure, right? A lot of hosts in Italy, they automatize this process simply just asking through WhatsApp number the picture of your documents and they will do it. So don't worry about it. It's not a big things to do. And there are also a couple of other things that might be required, especially at the regional level, but sometimes also a municipal level, and that's the reason why you have to check in the website and the SUAP portal of the municipality of your choice, where your property is located. The ISTAT communication, so basically some regions or some municipality wants to collect the number of tourists in their area to adequate their infrastructures, okay? And they can only collect this information through you, so you have to also send those informations. It's like statistics informations to them. And finally, certain kind of regions or municipality, they require you to stipulate an insurance, fire insurance or accidental insurance, whatever type of insurance might be requested or required from the commune, okay? So those are the 10 mandatory steps that you must follow, you must perform before starting your bed and breakfast activity. Almost all of them are just at the initialization phase, but the rest, a couple of those, they are basically like the check-in, check-out and the statistics information, something that you have to do every time you are receiving guests, okay? I hope I had clarified these steps. Of course, here in ESENtaxa we can help you to set up your business in Italy, and also for this bed and breakfast activity we can help you to decode what the municipality wants from you. Maybe they will need also from you other extra steps. Keep in mind that only the first steps that I said were at national level, others might vary based on the municipality, okay? So if you have any other questions, or if you want a consultancy with us, in the description below the video you have our calendar link to book a consultation, 1 hour call, 2 hour calls, all a tax simulation, or you can write us at info@esentaxa.com. And we have also Open Academy, in which you can learn about the Italian real estate, so for international investors. Look at our academy and you will learn a lot of more information about this amazing online course. For anything else, notification bell, like button, and subscribe to the channels to be always updated whenever we release this kind of content. See you to the next content, bye!